Very good. We are going to bring the August 12th Appropriations Committee meeting to order. We are one shy of a quorum, so I'd strongly encourage my colleagues to make their way to the Appropriations Committee room so that we can establish a quorum. That being said, we are going to go ahead and begin with our very first presentation. Senator Correa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, honorable members of this committee. I'd like to present to you today Senate Bill 1139, which is CalPERS annual housekeeping bill, sponsored by CalPERS. And this bill makes several technical, non-controversial changes to various sections of the government code administered by CalPERS. With me today is a representative from CalPERS who can answer any technical questions you may have.
Move the bill.
Very good. The bill has been moved by Mr. Solorio, seconded by... I'm sorry. We have members to establish a quorum. I apologize, Senator Correa. Let's go ahead and establish a quorum. Madam Secretary?
Fuentes?
Present.
Conway? Here. Bradford? Here. Calderon? Cotto? Davis? De Leon? Gatto? Here. Hall? Harkey? Here. Miller? Nielsen? Norby? Skinner? Solario? Torlixon? Tarico. Have a quorum.
Very good. We have a quorum. Mr. Solorio? Very good. Mr. Solorio is moving the bill. Mr. Tarico is seconding the measure. Do you have any witnesses in support, Mr. Correa?
Danny Brown on behalf of the CalPERS Board of Administration, the sponsors of the bill, just asking for your support.
Very good. Additional witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition? Department of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ken DeRosa with the Department of Finance. Any costs related to this bill will be minor and absorbable.
Very good. Thank you. That would you like to close, Senator Correa?
Ask for an aye vote.
Measures out on a B roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Padilla. Good afternoon, Senator. Your measure is a candidate for suspense. If you could be brief, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I will try to be brief, but I just can't contain my excitement about this bill. SB 1440 would mandate that community colleges create AA degrees for transfer to CSU with specific areas of emphasis, would provide for community college students guaranteed admission to the CSU, guaranteed junior status upon transfer after they've met those certain requirements, and without getting into too much detail, basically streamlines the process for transfer. We recognize that 73% of the students in higher education in California are in our community colleges. The rate that we're going, only 25% actually successfully transfer and graduate. The substance of the bill would translate into savings between CSU and community colleges combined to about $160 million and affording the two segments to serve more students. Just in regards to the amendment we recommended in the analysis to delay the bill's implementation, I'd respectfully request that the committee vote the bill out when it's consideration on the suspense calendar. Without that particular amendment, we've heard not just from the Chancellor for Community Colleges, Jack Scott, but others throughout the system that it could indeed be implemented beginning the fall of 2011 without significant fiscal impact. With that, appreciate your support. Ask for your aye vote.
Very good. Your first witness in support?
California, Karen Zavarip with the California State University. We are been pleased to work with Senator Padilla, and we urge your passage of this bill. It's be great for students. It's about time. We've been trying to fix transfer for 30 years, so we'd really like you to help us get this done. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Marlene Garcia. I'm with the California Community College Chancellor's Office. And on behalf of Chancellor Jack Scott and the Board of Governors, we're thrilled to be part of this historic legislation and really would like to thank the leadership of so many members, especially Senator Alex Padilla. We are committed to implementing this bill as during the academic year of 2011, which is record time, but this is so important. We are committed to doing whatever we can to get this, get the implementation details and get the program underway by the start of the next year's academic year. We also are able to absorb the costs of this implementation. We believe because of the streamlining and the efficiencies established in this policy that we will be able to redirect those resources to implement this new program. So we urge you to support this bill, and we are in strong support of this measure. Thank you.
Very good. Next witness in support.
Jesse Ryan with the Campaign for College Opportunity, co-sponsor of this student-centered transfer reform legislation. We did not anticipate when we introduced this bill the level of support for this extremely student-centered pathway. We strongly urge your support of the passage of this bill.
Mr. Chair and members, Khadija Alam Javed with the Advancement Project. For all the reasons stated, we ask for your support.
Very good. Additional witnesses in support?
Brendan Tuig on behalf of Ed Voice in support.
Erica Romero on behalf of the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities in support.
Brandon Sisk on behalf of the California State Student Association in support.
Andrew Keller on behalf of Long Beach City College in support.
Mira Girton on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce, also in support.
Alex Pater, President, Student Senate, California Community Colleges, co-sponsor, and on behalf of support.
Megan O'Donnell, Student Body President at Folsom Lake College, in support.
Walter Michael, Vice President of Sierra College, in support.
Kevin Wolfworth, California Post-Secondary Education Commission, in support.
Scott Lake Community College League of California, and for those of you following the apportionment versus waiver language, 69 of the 72 districts have signed waivers now, so hopefully in the next week we can take care of the apportionment language and nobody would have concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark McDonald, McCallum Group, on behalf of a number of community college districts: Los Angeles, San Diego, Kern, West Kern, Los Rios, Mount San Jacinto, Rio Hondo. We also had concerns about the apportionment language, are helping collect the letters. We very much appreciate the Senator working with us on this, and we urge your support on this historic piece of legislation. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Mark Aprea on behalf of SunGuard Higher Education in support of the measure.
Hi, Juan Enriquez, statewide chair of California Latino Intersegmental Convocation, Higher Education Group in California, strong support. Thank you.
Very good. Any additional witnesses? Witnesses in opposition? Department of Finance?
Our file indicates a savings of approximately $75 million for the community colleges and $85 million for the CSU as a result of this legislation.
Very good. Thank you. Senator Padilla, would you like to close?
Ask for a vote.
Very good. We'll dispense with that matter shortly. Thank you for your presentation. Senator Pavley. Senator Pavley. Very good. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'd just like for the record to say I really love Senator Padilla's last bill. That's well-needed transition there from community college to CSUs. Anyway, this bill is Senate Bill 929. It's a cadmium ban in children's jewelry. For those who probably wouldn't know, quite a few years ago I authored a bill. It was part of a settlement. It was a Prop 65 case putting lead standards in children's jewelry. And one of the unintended consequences of putting that ban, and it was based on some real problems that hurt quite a few children, was those countries that were importing children's jewelry to be sold actually substituted from the lead that is toxic to cadmium. And so what this bill does, I consider it just a cleanup bill. That, of course, lead is banned. We know that's bad. Cadmium is equally toxic metal that shouldn't be in children's mouths or in, around them at all. So this takes the same standards, allows the same enforcement arm, DTSC, in a very cost-effective way. While they're enforcing and checking for lead in children's jewelry, they can just recalibrate this gun that they
Chairman,
have.
I'll move the bill, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. The bill has been moved by Mr. Cota,
And test for
seconded
two
by Mr.
for the
Bradford.
price of one. Anyway,
First witness in support,
cost
Senator.
effective. All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, ladies and
gentlemen, members of the committee. I've been working for the last 7 years with the Center for Environmental Health on matters involving heavy metal and jewelry. There's simply no reason to have lead or cadmium in children's jewelry. Many manufacturers have reformulated to remove both lead and cadmium in jewelry, but we're still finding high levels of cadmium in jewelry. Cadmium is extremely toxic. It's known to cause kidney damage, pulmonary emphysema, and bone disease. It's ranked 7th on the CDC list of 275 most hazardous chemicals, and it shouldn't be in our children's mouths or in their jewelry. This bill is the result of months of hard work between public health advocates and members of industry, including the jewelry and the toy manufacturers associations. The statute's workable, it's cost-effective, and it's protective of public health. It's integrated with the Green Chemistry Initiative, and it allows DTSC to revisit the level if they find it's necessary at some point in the future. It's low cost because the 300 ppm total cadmium standard is a standard that's already used by DTSC when they're evaluating the same jewelry for lead. It's the same test instrument. It's an X-ray fluorescence gun. The gun doing the same test by the same personnel can measure cadmium at the same time that it measures lead, so it's extremely cost effective. Given the minimal cost, the integration with green chemistry, and the significant public health impact that this statute can have, I urge your support.
Next witness in support.
Hello, my name is Ansha Miller. I'm the Policy Director for Center for Environmental Health. And for over a decade, we've been working to protect children from toxic chemicals. I'm also the coordinator for Californians for a Healthy and Green Economy, which is a coalition of about 35 different organizations around the state that are faith-based health organizations, environmental health organizations, environmental justice, and labor groups. This bill is consistent with all that we've been working towards on the Green Chemistry Initiative and other efforts to get toxic chemicals out of California. It is cost effective. With one click of a button, DTSC can take action not only on lead, which it already has the authority to do, but this bill would give them the authority to also to address cadmium, which is really important. We urge an aye vote on this bill. Thank you.
Very good. Additional witnesses in support.
Charlotte Newhar with the American Association of University Women and the California Maternal and Child Health Directors strongly supports this bill and believes it's very cost effective for every child who does not become ill by the poisoning. Services are not then needed either in education or in health, and we appreciate your voice.
Very good. Additional witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? I'm sorry.
Rachel O'Brien on behalf of the California League of Conservation Voters in support.
Very good. Additional witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition?
Mr. Chairman and members, Bob Giroux on behalf of the Toy Industry Association of America, here to say that we have removed any opposition that our association or its members have had. I'd like to thank the author, her staff, and the sponsors. That opposition was removed when the current Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act in 2008 was adopted on the federal level, and the bill would not apply to those toys and products that are covered under the federal act. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Very good. Any additional witnesses in opposition? Department of Finance?
Costs to Department of Toxic Substances Control would be minor and absorbable.
Very good. Members, hearing and seeing no comments or questions, that measure is out on a B roll call. Thank you, Senator Pavley.
May I just note for the record that I have with me, and I could submit to your staff, the Fashion Jewelry and Accessories Trade Association is now in support as amended for this measure as well. So I believe that removes all listed opposition.
Very good. That measure is out on a B roll call as amended.
That.
Thank you very much, Senator Pavley. Very good, members. Let's go ahead and take the consent calendar. Do I hear a motion? Mr. Solorio and Mr. Hall have moved and seconded the consent calendar, members. That measure is out on an A roll call. Very good, colleagues. We will now begin the suspense calendar. We will begin with the health agenda. So we will pass that out and begin shortly. Very good, colleagues. We shall begin with Health and Human Services on the suspense calendar. First measure is SB 56, Alquest, due pass as amended to clarify county medical services program provisions. Senate Bill 208, Steinberg, renewing the Medi-Cal. Very good. Members, we need a motion so that we may... Very good. So Mr. Hall is making the motion. Mr. Torlickson is making the second. Now we're going to go ahead and let it rip here. All right. That's out on a B roll call. Very good. All right. We're a little rusty here. Madam Vice Chair, I apologize. Senate Bill 208, Steinberg, subject renewing the Medi-Cal demonstration project waiver. That's due pass. Very good. All Republicans are off. Senate Bill 220, Yee, mandating tobacco cessation services, due pass as amended to narrow to conform to federal health reform, preventive health services requirements only. That's out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 270, Alquest, addressing privacy of medical information, due pass. That's out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 364, Flores, establishing a joint task force on hospital conversion and patient care, holding committee. Senate Bill 654, Leno, expanding eligibility for the independent living program, due pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 771, Alquest, extending Medi-Cal eligibility to former foster youth, holding committee. Senate Bill 810, establishing a single-payer health care coverage, due pass. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 886, Flores, authorizing electronic timekeeping for in-home support services providers, holding committee. Senate Bill 890, Alquest, standardizing health coverage, due pass is amended to narrow individual insurance market provisions and reduce costs. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 892, Alquest, eliminating license exemptions for care facilities, holding committee. Senate Bill 900, Alquest, establishing the California Health Benefits Exchange. Due pass is amended to narrow to establish an exchange in state government and to address a federal internet exchange portal. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 961, Wright, mandating oral cancer treatment. Due pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1064, Alquest, modifying the California Stem Cell Research and Cures Act. Due pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1084, Liu, creating the California Economic Security Task Force, holding committee. Senate Bill 1088, Price, extending dependent health care coverage. That is a due pass and out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1091, Hancock, providing Medi-Cal to individuals in county juvenile detention facilities, due pass, out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1150, Negrete McLeod, increasing oversight of cosmetic surgery clinics, holding committee. Senate Bill 1163, Leno, increasing information about health coverage denials, due pass as amended to clarify rate review scope and requirements. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1200, Leno, increasing timeliness of care for school children, holding committee. Senate Bill 1214, Woke, removing sunset for licensing crisis nurseries. Due pass is amended to extend the current sunset for 3 years and to prohibit the use of crisis nurseries for foster care respite care. Out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1236, Alquest, establishing alternative Medi-Cal utilization controls, holding committee. Senate Bill 1322, Liu, modifying the food stamp employment and training program. Due pass is amended to establish the FSET program in state statute and remove the section pertaining to the work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1392, Steinberg, expediting mental health funding. Due pass is amended to delete the continuous appropriation. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1431, submitting and expanding the county health care initiative matching fund. Due pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Very good, members. We will be moving on to the suspense file, general and local government, business, housing, transportation, agricultural, jobs, and utilities. Very good. The first bill is Senate Bill 211, Semidian, conforming expedited special election provisions to federal law. Do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 258, Orapesa, mandating school district use of pre-qualification for certain contracts, hold in committee. Senate Bill 376, Semidian, Energy Commission need study for liquefied natural gas, hold in committee. Senate Bill 409, Duchesne, rail programs planning and reporting, hold in committee. Senate Bill 503, Kehoe, state controller audits of future bond-funded projects, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 730, Wiggins, enhanced local and regional participation in IOU energy efficiency programs, do pass with an amendment to reduce PUC's costs for outreach. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 812, Ashburn, require general plans housing element to consider needs of developmentally disabled individuals, do pass with technical amendments. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 879, Cox, county, cities, construction projects, alternative bidding procedures, design bill, do pass with amendments modifying reporting requirements. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 938, Huff, eliminating enhanced confidentiality of DMV records for offenders, do pass with amendments making requirements prospective and reducing costs. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 951, Correa, extending the mobile home park maintenance inspection program, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 959, resurrect Office of Permitting Assistance, do pass with amendments to limit the size of office and reduce costs. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 964, Alquist, labor market assessment for high-speed rail program, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 967, Correa, bid preferences for contracts using in-state workforce, do pass with amendments applying only to contracts exceeding $1 million plus clarifying amendments. Measures out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 968, Negrete McLeod, unemployment insurance, training and retraining benefits, hold in committee. Senate Bill 993, Huff, relinquish State Highway Route 66 within the city of Claremont, do pass. Measures out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1008, Padilla, allowing engineers and land surveyors to form limited liability partnerships, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1040, Padilla, augmenting the California Advanced Services Fund for broadband deployment, do pass with technical amendments. Change in report due date. Measures out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1061, Hancock, authorized bike path project for Bay Bridge West Span, holding committee. Senate Bill 1072, Calderon, reporting requirements for horse racing statewide marketing organization, do pass with amendments clarifying that the CMC is also required to submit their annual marketing plan to the CHRB in writing by November of each year. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1098, Corbett, registration of athlete agents for uniformity among states, do pass, out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1108, Price, creating a 25% goal for small business participation, holding committee. Senate Bill 1125, Flores, creating an expedited process for gambling licenses, do pass with amendments removing the expedited licensing process. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1138, Cedillo, creating the Rendering Industry Advisory Board, holding committee. Senate Bill 1140, Yee, require one-stop registration and voting at county elections offices, holding committee. Senate Bill 1141, Negrete McLeod, incentives for counties to establish airport land use commissions, do pass with technical amendments. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1146, Flores, established pilot program for small consumer loans, do pass with amendments making numerous program-related changes. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1154, Cedillo, providing information on earned income tax credit to low-income utility customers, do pass with an amendment adding a sunset after 4 years. Measures out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1174, Woke, established pilot project to assist general plan updates to identify and plan infrastructure needs of disadvantaged and unincorporated communities, holding committee. Senate Bill 1181, Cedillo, extends sunset on the transcript reimbursement fund, do pass. Measures out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1205, Corbett, established Bay Area Disaster Recovery Planning Council Act, do pass with amendments clarifying that the bill does not create a state funding obligation. Measures out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1233, Oropesa, remove sunset on safe at-home address confidentiality programs, do pass. Measures out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1254, Leno, authorizing stop work orders for contractors, do pass. Measures out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1260, expanding the sale of alcohol at lodging establishments, do pass. Measures out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1275, new requirements for non-judicial foreclosure process, do pass with numerous, mostly clarifying amendments. Mr. Solorio.
Chair, on this item, I'd like a roll call vote.
Very good. Madam Chair, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Fuentes?
Not voting.
Conway?
No.
Conway, no. Bradford? Calderon? Cotto? Cotto, aye. Davis? De Leon? Gatto? Hall? Harkey?
No.
Harkey, no. Miller? Miller, no. Nielsen? Nielsen, no. Norby?
No.
Norby, no. Skinner? Salario?
No.
Salario, no. Torlixon? Torlixon, aye. Tarico? No. Tarico, no.
Very good. That measure is on call. Senate Bill 1323, Walters, expanding a tied house exception for promotional events, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1362, submitting additional requirements for use of automated traffic enforcement systems, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1363, Runner, require new escrow licensees to complete a course in escrow management, do pass. Measures out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1414, Kehoe, Public Utilities Commission actions on petitions for rehearing, do pass with amendments striking the current deadlines in the bill and instead require the PUC to act on a filing within 120 days, but authorizing the PUC to take action, extend this deadline by up to 120 days at a time, and 2, applying the above change to applications filed commencing 2011. Republicans are off. That measure is out. Senate Bill 1435, Padilla, require PUC to adopt rules for electric vehicle charging stations, do pass with amendments clarifying that the PUC rules are to apply to EV charging and not to individual charging stations and infrastructure. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1445, DeSaulnier, a $1 increase in vehicle registration fee to fund state and regional land use planning for implementation of SB 375, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1453, Price, vehicles with digital electronic license plates, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1462, Padilla, establish the California Broadband Council, do pass with amendments removing the president of the Emerging Technology Fund from the council plus clarifying amendments. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1475, Semidian, vehicles, electronic wireless communication devices, prohibitions, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1484, Wright, prohibiting bundled contracts, hold in committee. Very good. Members, the next order of business on the suspense file is resources and environmental protection. Senate Bill 22, Semidian. Hazardous materials, toxic substances, hold in committee. Senate Bill 51, Duchesne, subject Salton Sea Restoration Council, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 231, Lowenthal, hazardous waste generator fees, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 346, Kehoe, hazardous materials, motor vehicle brake friction materials, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 390, Kehoe, solid waste recycling market development, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 550, Flores, natural resources, oil and gas drilling, do pass as amended to delete all bills provisions except requirement that a well operator provide the surface rights owner with written notification of any well or operation agreement between the well operator and the owner of the subsurface or mineral rights. The Republicans are off. That measure is out. Senate Bill 565, water resources, do pass as amended to specify determination of alternative penalty amounts. That measure is out with a Pavley 565.
That's correct. Yep.
Oh, this is the one. Very good. Our vice chair has asked for a roll call vote on that. Madam Secretary?
Aye. Conway?
No.
Conway, no. Harkey? No. Harkey, no. Miller?
This is 565 Pavley.
Miller, no. Nielsen? No. Nielsen, no. Norby?
No. I wanted you to poll the entire.
Norby, no.
Oh, you're going to call it.
It was an entire roll call, Madam Secretary. Yeah.
Sorry.
Now call the Democrats. Yeah.
Thank you. Fuentes?
Aye.
Fuentes, aye. Bradford? Aye. Bradford, aye. Calderon? Cotto? Aye. Cotto, aye. Davis? De Leon? Gatto? Aye. Gatto, aye. Hall? Aye. Hall, aye. Skinner? Solario? Torlixon? Aye. Torlixon, aye. Tarico? No. Tarico, no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very good. I'd encourage members to attend the appropriations meeting because that measure is short votes. Senate Bill 722, Semidian, Utilities, Renewable Energy Resources, do pass as amended to make various technical and substantive changes, including change from 2010 to 2005 the operational date for qualifying out-of-state generation, allow beginning in 2014 banking of excess procurement of renewable energy, eliminate the requirement that the PUC establish milestones in the development of renewable energy projects, eliminate PUC's ability to require retail sellers to procure specific quantities of renewable energy resources in years between compliance periods, require penalties collected from a local publicly owned utility to be available for expenditure for projects in the same geographic area as a utility. That measure is out on a B roll call. Members, I also want to announce that Mr. Huffman will be replacing Mr. Calderon today. Madam Secretary, that should reflect that on the votes. Senate Bill 918, Pavley, water recycling, do pass as amended to require the department to report as part of the budget process on its progress towards adoption of recycled water use criteria. That's out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 928, consumer products content information, hold in committee. Senate Bill 991, Wolk, flood control, do pass as amended to add Assembly members Buchanan and Huber as co-authors. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1006, Pavley, natural resources, climate change, strategic growth council, do pass. That is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1093, Wiggins, Dungeness crab, yum, pilot program, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1100, product stewardship, household batteries, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1142, Wiggins, agricultural resources grants, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1157, Desanier, Education Healthy Acts Act of 2010, do pass as amended to require the Department of Pesticide Regulation effective January 1, 2012 to augment the mill rate levied on pesticides by an amount sufficient to cover the costs of the department and schools to implement the provisions of this bill. This measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1173, Wolk, recycled water, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1179, Hollingsworth, free hunting days, do pass. That is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1207, Kehoe, land use general plan, safety element, fire hazard impacts. That bill is out on a B roll call is do pass. Senate Bill 1284, Duchesne, water quality, mandatory minimum civil penalties, do pass. That measure is out on a roll call. Senate Bill 1340, Kehoe, energy, do pass as amended to add chaptering language. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1365, Corbett, public safety, consumer products, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1402, Dutton, State Air Resources Board, administrative and civil penalties, do pass as amended to add Assemblymember Harkey as a co-author. That measure is out on an A roll call.
Pause 1 sec. I need those roll calls on 5.
Very good, members. We're going now to revenue and taxation. First bill is Senate Bill 1065, Walters, conform to federal law provisions related to innocent spouse relief. Do pass. That measure is out on a roll call. Senate Bill 1272, Wolk, require future tax expenditures to have objectives and sunsets. Do pass with technical amendments. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1391, Yee, require future business tax incentives to have greater recapture provisions. Do pass with amendments to make recapture proportional to job reductions and to make other technical changes. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1398, Desagne, reallocate property taxes from a new public utility to a redevelopment agency. Do pass with amendments reinstating the low-income housing set-aside for tax increment revenues. That measure is out on a B roll call with Ms. Connie Conway not voting. Senate Bill 1494, Wolk, Board of Equalization Housekeeping Bill. Do pass with amendments deleting provisions relating to BOE acceptance of registered warrants. That measure is out on an A roll call. Members, we're going now to labor and public retirement. First bill. First bill is Senate Bill 477, Flores, codifies and expands heat illness prevention regulations, holding committee. Senate Bill 1230, Desagne, employer posting requirements regarding slavery and human trafficking. Do pass with amendments clarifying that DLSE is not responsible for preparing and distributing notices. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1231, Corbett, modestly expands existing law prohibitions against state contractors supplying goods produced by abusive labor practices. Do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1425, submitting pension reforms for CalSTRS and CalPERS. Do pass with numerous, mostly technical amendments. That measure is out on with Republicans off. Very good. Senate Bill 733, members, we are going to criminal justice now. So criminal justice on the suspense file. Senate Bill 733, Leno, crime victims trauma center grants do pass as amended to make contingent upon a 25% reserve in the restitution fund and limit total grants to $2 million. Senate Bill 830, Wright. Sorry, that measure, Senate Bill 733, Leno, is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 830, Wright. Audiovisual recording piracy do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 834, Flores, court orders, minor victims, prohibitions on communications do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 840, Yee, reporting crimes, holding committee. Senate Bill 1032, Wright, corrections, audits, and investigations do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1066, Oropesa, corrections, contraband searches do pass as amended to narrow and define searches. That measure is out with Republicans not voting. Senate Bill 1130, Onnested, corrections, prison industry authority limitations, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1204, Runner, sex offenders social networking prohibition, online address notification, hold in committee. Senate Bill 1296, Correa, peace officer training, post-traumatic stress disorder, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1428, Pavley, criminal investigations, interception of communications, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call.
That's it. That way we can come back to it. We haven't signaled anything. Okay.
Got a replacement page for you and show this chart.
1487.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Senate Bill 331. Members, we are in education now on the suspense file. Senate Bill 331, migrant education, do pass with amendments to delete the CalPADS portion of the bill, delete the requirement to revise state master plan. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 450, Lowenthal, class size reduction, Long Beach Unified School District, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 675, Steinberg, establishes the Clean Technology and Renewable Energy Job Training, Career Technical Education, and Dropout Prevention Act of 2010. Do pass with amendments. Delete all bond language from the bill, including establishing a council. Remove peer fund from the bill. Declare intent for funding source to be unused proceeds of a surcharge used for the Energy Commission's administrative duties, and direct unused proceeds from the surcharge to fund Partnership Academy programs. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 798, Desaunier, 21st Century Community Learning Centers Program, do pass with amendments to ensure priority is given to expiring grants. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 930, Duchesne, pupil assessments and English language learners, do pass with amendments to delete requirements related to additional testing of ELL pupils. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 969, Liu, public post-secondary education student fee policy, do pass with amendments striking fee limitation provisions and fee delay provisions when budget is late, requiring at least 3 rather than 6 months prior notification of a fee increase, modifying reporting requirements. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1116, Huff, Heritage School Instruction, do pass with amendments to clarify a Heritage School is not a licensed daycare center. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1136, Cox, Small School Districts and Deferrals, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1143, Liu, Community Colleges, Student Success and Completion, do pass with clarifying amendments. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1161, Lowenthal, School Facilities Program, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1193, Lowenthal, School Facilities Funding, High Performance Schools, do pass with amendments, delete CTE portion of the bill, remove reference to CHPS. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1255, Padilla, School Nutrition Beverages, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1278, Wyland, Instructional Materials Adoption, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1285, Steinberg, Education Employment. Do pass to the Rules Committee with the following amendments. Delete the provisions related to proportionate layoffs in deciles 1 through 3 of the API. Specify the criteria and conditions analogous to the schools identified in the Reed v. LAUSD court order in which a district may deviate from seniority-based layoffs for the purposes of ensuring equal protection laws are held. The state shall require schools to meet the definition in 2 to ensure that the proportion of layoffs identified in schools is no greater than the district average. Is that going to rules?
Yes, it is.
That measure will go to rules after this committee. Republicans are not voting. Fuentes, no. That measure is out. Mr. Torlakson, no. That measure is out. Senate Bill 1278, Wyland, Instructional Materials Adoption, Holding Committee. Here. Senate Bill 1290, scratch the previous one. Senate Bill 1290, Kehoe, Physical Education, Self-Defense, and Safety Instruction, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1298, Hancock, Regional Occupational Centers and Programs, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1354, Hancock, Partnership Academies, do pass. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1357, Steinberg, California Longitudinal Pupil Achievement Data System, do pass with an amendment making the implementation of this bill contingent upon receipt of federal funding for this purpose. This measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1380, Hancock, Career Technical Education School Facilities, do pass with amendments to change the requirement that the facility be used for a minimum of 5 years, specify that the certification requirement only applies to projects approved after January 1, 2011. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1381, Semidian, Kindergarten, Age of Admission, do pass. That measure is out on a B roll call. Senate Bill 1396, Lowenthal, Education Funding Maximum Categorical Education Flexibility Pilot Program, Holding Committee. Senate Bill 1440, Padilla, Enhancement of Community College Transfer to CSU, do pass with an amendment making the conditioning of state apportionments inoperative if all 72 school districts submit a mandate reimbursement waiver by December 31st, 2010. That measure is out on an A roll call. Senate Bill 1460, Cedillo, Student Financial Aid Eligibility, the California DREAM Act of 2010. Do pass with amendments deleting Cal Grant provisions plus clarifying amendments. That measure is out on a B roll call. Very good, colleagues. We are now going to lift the call on two measures who have insufficient votes. First measure is Leno, Senate Bill 1275. Madam Secretary, please call the absent and non-voting members.
Bradford? Bradford, aye.
This is 1275, Leno, the banking.
Huffman?
Members, let's go ahead and just make sure everyone is clear. We are now voting on Senate Bill 1275. Leno, the measure has insufficient votes at this moment. Madam Secretary, please call the absent and non-voting members.
Thank you. Huffman, aye. Davis? De Leon? Gatto? Hall? Skinner? Skinner, aye.
Very good. That measure has 5 aye votes. It is still on call. Members, Assembly Bill 565, rather, Senate Bill 565, Pavley. Madam Secretary, please call the absent and non-voting members.
Huffman? Huffman, aye. Davis? De Leon? Skinner? Skinner, aye. Solario?
Very good, members. That measure has 8 votes. Members, I will.
How many is that short?
It's short 1 vote.
Solorio, aye.
Very good. Solorio's aye. That measure is out.
Solario, aye.
Very good. Members, we will leave the roll open for 5 minutes for those absent members so that they may register their votes.
So we said that one.
So we're done, right?
12, what's that? No, we're just going to leave that.